James, first impressions. How do you make a good first impression?
I sing I'm James Acaster to the tune of I'm a Survivor by Destiny's Child.
Well, can I hear that, please?
I'm James Acaster, 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 and you are?
It's Guy Fawkes night this week, so tonight's our palace job to guess the nation's top 3 most popular British traditions. Sean's team, what do you think are our favourite traditions?
Well,
Actual Guy Fawkes night?
Yeah.
yeah.
The actual Guy Fawkes night.
The thing is, his name wasn't Guy, it was Guido, which is an Italian name.
Yeah.
And the translation of Guido into English isn't Guy, it's Ian. So it should be Ian Fawkes night.
Oh, penny for the Ian.
Yeah.
5th of November, he climbs down your chimney. He leaves some sparklers under your pillow. And then when you grow up, you learn it was just your parents.
Those were not your parents. People had broken and entered. James, you a big drinker?
No way, man. What I don't like about it is when you go to a bar, you don't know how much the drink costs to the last minute. It's not like in a normal shop, everything's got price tags on it. At a bar, it's a secret. You order all the drinks, and then at the end, you wait for the surprise. It's not fair. You know how in a taxi cab, you have the meter running and you can watch it? They should have that behind the bar, like hook it up to the taps, and while they're filling the pint, you can watch the numbers go up. If it gets a bit too much for you, just lean in and point the side of the glass, like, anywhere here's fine.
Quite a fun fact. So London Zoo got into trouble recently for they had zoo lates, and they got into trouble because some drunk people disturbed the animals.
Of course they did.
Only a little bit, though. A man poured beer over a tiger.
They prefer Frosties.
They do prefer Frosties, that is a documented fact. What do you think is the nation's favourite tradition?
Oh, I think April Fool's Day. I don't know if they do it elsewhere in the world. Probably banned it in Denmark.
I'll tell you where else they do it. They do it in Spain. Yeah. And if you fool someone, you say, "You innocent little dove, that you let yourself be fooled."
In English?
It just feels nicely poetic, you innocent little dove that let yourself be fooled. Again, in Britain, when you fool someone, if you play a practical joke at the end, you just go, "Ah, wanker."
Do doves get fooled a lot? Go around fooling a dove every now and again? Introduce it to a pigeon you painted white?
Have you ever played any pranks? Have you done any on the One Show? It feels like the One Show is kind of the environment where you could do...
we pretended we were talking from a box.
Did you?
Matt and I got into a box and we spoke to people. I mean, it wasn't original. It didn't work, to be fair.
James has a question.
I'm unsure as to what the prank was. You were in a box, you spoke to people.
And people would pass and we'd be like, "Oh, yeah, how are you?" Because we had a camera inside and they'd be like looking around.
So you were out in the street?
We were on the street.
Oh, I thought you meant like guests came onto the One Show and you're both in a box.
No.
And you're going, "Hello, hello Whitney, hello Charles Brandes, did you have a good time at the Pencil Museum?"
No, I don't like April Fools because an ex-boyfriend said he was gay.
On?
April Fools. But he didn't realise it was April the 1st. It was an actual fact.
I don't know where to begin,
It was very short term. I think he thought, I'll tell her on April the 1st. I thought he was joking. It was a mess.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's happily married to Richard. That's all we need to know.
So in a way, he was pretending to be in a box as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Had you got him with an April Fool before he told you that? That would have been all... If you had done the old cling film on the toilet and he was covered himself in piss and gone, "Right, something I've got to tell you anyway, gay."
You know the cling film? That only really works for fellas. Because if a lady sits on it, it just feels lovely.
Do you ever play any pranks?
Sometimes what I do is I replace all the light bulbs in the house with ones of a slightly lower wattage.
Stop
You can
it.
see people on the dimmer switches going, oh. I'm sitting there chuckling away going, never got a clue. Sometimes I go up in the loft, just move everything around. You know, nobody knows, do they? So basically I do stuff, there's no victim.
Turn the doormat round.
Yeah, oh, I love doing that, yeah. You're a bit of a prankster, are you?
Don't get me started. Don't get me started, Sean. Sometimes I change ties halfway through the evening. I'm staying in on my own, but it's funny.
Just remembered another one I like to do.
Go on.
It's if we're having a drink, whatever, and they go to the toilet, I put my cock in their pint.
Oh, Sean.
That's not as subtle, and there is a victim. Usually me.
That's why I switched to hot toddies. Too many times.
And you do have to take it out again before they come back. Very important.
Yeah.
We're always wary of the sand, because we were always told that in sand is glass and turds. But it does mean that your sandcastle just has windows, you know, and turds.
Can I just say, I've got no positive memories about the beach at all. When I was a kid, my granddad was terrified of jellyfish. Like, to the point where he acted like they were galloping around the sands, like leaping on sunbathers and stinging them up the butt. And he kicked my football, my favourite football, into the sea. And when I ran to get it, he dove in front of me and stopped me and went, no. That's just what I want.
Would you rather get a massage from a friend or a stranger?
My sister used to do massage, and she said there's a muscle that if on a bloke that gives them an erection.
Wasn't she suspicious on the day of the training that they taught her that?
Oh no, she found it out herself.
I'm pretty sure it's not just one muscle as well. It's pretty much the entire body when touched by anyone who looks nice.
Worst way to break up with someone?
At the maternity ward.
I got dumped in a curry house once, but it was right at the end of it. And I was like, I'll pay, I'll get the bill. And she was like, we're on a break. And she's like, I don't think we should get back together. I was thinking, I never would have ordered all the sides and that, because I went the full hog to try and get her back. I had like sagaloo, bargees.
You're trying to win her back with a sagaloo.
I heard about a guy who was going to propose to his girlfriend, and they did a nice romantic walk down the beach, and before he could propose, she broke up with him 3 minutes before the plane that he had booked was scheduled to write, "Will you marry me?" in the sky. And I was talking to my friends about what you would do in that situation, and I think I would desperately try and run around the beach trying to write abort in the sand. And maybe push her in the sea.
Alex, have you broken up with anyone? Because one of the worst ways, I think, would be for a guy to tell you that he's gay. I imagine that's...
I think a fax machine might be a bad way to do it.
Didn't Phil Collins famously do that? He broke up with his wife by fax.
What, he went like this?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, that is Welsh, isn't it?
James, what do you make of this?
Like, the whole Brexit thing's upset me. I'm trying to be more positive now and see...
Right.
I voted Remain, and I want to see more things in common with the two sides rather than getting angry. Like, people like Boris Johnson, he recently referred to London as a great jiving funkopolitan melting pot, which is also what I say, and I liked that. You know what, Jimmy?
Yes, James.
I will say this, Jimmy, Carr. I've imagined this moment for so long that I don't know if it's really happening or not. I normally sit in my room talking to Jimmy, just imagining how well we'd get on and how much he'd laugh at my jokes and look in my eyes while I talk about Brexit and...
Do you want me to take this off, make it more real?
No.
Keep it on.
It's quite a gear shift for me wherever I look, because he's got Cammy here, quite a chilled out guy, and then James, complex.
He's...
If I'm not mistaken, that is the nicest thing that's ever been said about James. Quite complex.
Complex guy.
It's the nicest thing that's ever been said about me.
You don't see that very often, do you, Cammy?
I'm doing that every day now. Every time something good happens to me, I'm doing that.
There's a bit of team spirit over here.
I know, you need to...
OK, Rob's team, what else has the nation been talking about?
Is it they're banning adverts, children's adverts? Hang on, let me start.
You're not allowed to advertise children anymore.
No, you cannot buy... You're not allowed to sell children anymore.
No more selling children. The people have spoken and they've had enough. This is the will of the people, Jimmy. No more buying kids. Put your wallet away. You make me sick. You make me sick so much, Jimmy Carr. Is it on the board?
Yeah, so you can't buy kids. No, they banned online adverts for junk food for kids, so it doesn't encourage kids to eat it. But I don't think it's going to work. They don't, advertise online weed and laughing gas, but they're banging to that.
I don't think it'll make any difference because it's online adverts, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they've already banned the TV ads, I think.
Oh, have they? Good on them.
I think the adverts are a little bit persuasive, though, isn't it? Like, the caramel bunny, I'd buy anything she was selling. Yeah. She was my first crush, the caramel bunny. Under that tree.
Yeah. I had a similar thing. Since you brought that up.
Yeah.
I was watching this cartoon, right? And no one's ever heard of this cartoon before. It's about an egg.
And you like the cartoon egg?
Well, there was a boy egg and a girl egg, and to begin with, I didn't fancy either of them. And then the girl egg is like walking away from the boy because he fancies her. She doesn't want anything to do with him. And then she fell into a pot of boiling hot water, and then she came out. And spoiler alert, she was hot. She was so foxy. And the first time I ever remember thinking in my head, I want to bang that egg.
Yeah. Well. Are you worried about your job, James?
Yes, I'm very worried. Yeah, absolutely, Jimmy.
What is it you do again?
I'm a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
And they've already started. I turned up to a gig the other day, and the promoter was like, "Unlucky, mate, you've been replaced." And I looked in, it's Sir Kill-A-Lot. Just on stage, absolutely ripping it. They were all laughing at him. Very funny, actually. To his credit, very funny man. But, like... and afterwards, I went up to him, I said, what are you doing? And then it was like, speak to my agent, and I turned round as Optimus Prime.
I'm a Celebrity ended, Scarlett Moffett won, and our good pal, Joel Dommett, ever the gent, came behind a woman, very much like in a sex tape. He's one of our pals, genuinely. Do you know Joel?
Yeah,
I
know Joel, yeah.
Love Joel Dommett.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of that show,
yeah,
he was asked what he thought of Scarlett Moffett. Mm-hmm. And bearing in mind, I've known him for 9 years, he said Scarlett Moffett was the best person he had ever met in his entire life. He's with her for, 3 weeks in the jungle, she's rocketing up the charts.
Do you reckon we're in the top 10?
Yeah, I'd like... I mean, I've known Cammy for one show, he's already in my top 5.
Proud of how Joel handled his sex tape news. There was a sex tape leaked, which was very unfortunate. But I'm quite, because I'm actually developing a sex tape at the moment.
Are you?
Yeah, I am actually. But I'm taking my time with it. I've been opening up. You've been in for a couple of auditions.
Yeah,
Tom,
no, it's been fun. I'm not actually involved in the sex. I mean,
yeah.
I was just like. Hungry.
Tom's the guy that you go, let's have sex, meet by the tall guy.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rob?
Is it Planet Earth 2?
I mean, it's been incredible, hasn't it?
I was a bit obsessed with it. I love it. It's quality, isn't it?
Do you know what my favourite bit of Planet Earth 2 was? I liked it at one point, they crossed a bloodsucker with a cockroach.
And they came up with a cocksucker. There's a line for you then.
We've got a picture of James. Well, talk me through what was going on there.
Yeah, pretty standard at my school. That was the uniform. That was like a school fair, I think. And you had to dress like an animal from the zoo. And when the parents wanted photos, I thought it would be ridiculous to keep the lion head on, because then they wouldn't know it was me. What you can't see is a load of other kids properly looking like animals, and then this kid just, like, never forget who wore the lion outfit.
Roisin at school.
Oh, Ron! You little angel.
The only thing I will say is the distance between your eyes and the top of your head. That is a long way to go.
Jimmy, are you familiar with the phrase, people in glass houses?
What was your band, James?
I was in a band called Pin Drop. We had a singer called Lloyd, and he sang real nice, beautiful vocals in band practice. And then we had our first gig, and he was like, you go on before me, and then I'll come on later on. And we're playing this song, and we don't know where he is, and then he jumped on stage in a dress, which he hadn't warned us about. He just shouted, shouty, horrible shouty vocals for the whole gig. And then afterwards we were like, Lloyd, that was not the plan. And he was mature about it. And he just kind of went, guys, I'm so sorry. Honestly, I don't know what came over me. It won't happen again. And then we had another gig. And we get there, and Lloyd says to me, you guys go on. You start playing, and I'll come on later. I was like, OK, we'll do that, Lloyd. But remember what happened? He went, man, I feel so bad about that last night. It's not going to happen. Honestly, I feel like an idiot. I don't know what to do. I was like, good. And we're playing, and then he ran on in the dress again. And then we were like, well, we didn't really tell him not to do that, so that's kind of OK. And then he shouted, but not just shouted for the whole gig. He kept on jumping up in the air, and every time he landed, it'd flip the audience off like that. And we said to him afterwards, Lloyd, we made it real clear not to do that, and you did it again. And he was like, listen, guys, I owe you guys an apology. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry about that. At next week's gig, I'm absolutely 100% not going to do that again. And then we had a third gig. And Lloyd went to me, you guys start playing without me. And then I'll come on later. And I was like, Lloyd, I'm going to say this very clearly to you. If you shout again, you are out of this band for good. I swear to God. And then we're playing the intro. And then he runs through the audience. It was even more of a rogue move, even for Lloyd. He bought a different dress this time, but fair play. Hadn't mentioned the dress. And he also, I noticed, as he was running towards us, had drawn a dick on his forehead. And I thought to myself, that is a bad sign. And then he got the mic and he screamed, this, not shouting, horrible screaming. And then halfway through the gig, he took his dress off. He's just in these tighty whities, and someone had written Susie was here across his chest with an arrow pointing down to his real dick. And then after the gig, Lloyd, we had made this very clear. We're not allowed to shout anymore. And he went, hold on a second, guys, hold on a second. And then he walked outside, and then some boys turned up on a bicycle. And all we saw through the glass was they talked to him, and he nodded to them, and we heard him say, I'm in a band called Pin Drop. He got halfway through Pin Drop, and one of them nutted him and cycled away. And then we couldn't kick him out the band because we felt sorry for him. And he's still in the band to this day.
Playground games. What other playground games?
British Bulldog was one.
I remember that, yeah.
What's British Bulldog? We did not play that in Ireland.
It used to be part of a bigger game called European Bulldog. And then voted for leave.
True story. True story. Well, we're still trying to guess the most memorable things about school. OK, fingers on buzzers.
School trip, school journey.
School trips, school journey.
We called it school journey.
You called it school journey?
Yeah, Did anyone else take you again on school journey?
No. No, we didn't go to school in Lord of the Rings.
Go on any school trips?
Big time, man. I went in so many caves. I'll be honest, after the first one, I kind of got the idea. Every time, all I remember, they'd go, stalactites come from the ceiling, and stalagmites come up from the floor. I go, that'll come in handy for the next cave I've got to visit.
Phil, can I just say here, this,
Sorry,
whatever
very-
way you've angled yourself, your neck was almost so close that I just really needed to go, okay, fine. It was just
That's so funny. And literally, me and Roshi, when we saw each other today, we went to hug, and she just went slightly too low and just kissed my neck. It was so awkward.
What a life. What a life you live. Get no!
Kiss Chase.
James, what do you think?
I would say yes, but what a sad world we live in. Human beings are the worst people ever.
Aren't they the only people?
Yes.
Come on, Beckett. That degree has not gone to waste.
OK, so Aisling, Steen, what do you think? What are you going to go for?
I'd say no.
Hold on,
you
hold
say
on.
no.
It's this audience.
Yeah.
Look at them. They've been judging us since the moment we sat down. Johnny Depp films are the worst. In the cinema, you watch a Johnny Depp film, especially if he's sitting next to you. You got to pretend like you like the whole thing, and he's right there asking you what your favourite part is. Absolute nightmare. The worst thing about the cinema, and I think it's what you're saying, is other people.
Yeah.
And every time you go to the cinema, when you walk into the screen, there's that big wall where you can't see everyone yet, and that whole walk you go in, please, just me. Please let me just me, and that is all I want.